Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome back to Cricket Happenings, your regular and daily cricket show here. Well, in this particular cricket show, we are having on 11th of December, there are three international matches happening. One is West Indies versus New Zealand. The second test is about to start, so I will do a brief preview on that, but it's not going to be anything in detail. I'm just going to, because there are three matches that I'm going to cover here. So I want to do a brief preview on all those matches. So West Indies and New Zealand would be starting off at Basin Reserve in Wellington. And Basin Reserve in Wellington, whenever I remember the Basin Reserve in Wellington, there's only one name that comes to mind, and that is Sir Richard Hadlee, who had lots of wickets in that particular ground, and I'm sure it was his happy hunting ground because he used to pick up a lot of wickets. And Basin Reserve is such a pitch which is always useful for the seamers and the pacers, so it really helps as far as pace is concerned. And swing, absolutely no doubt about that. Well, as you know, Hadlee was a great swing bowler, Sir Richard Hadlee. And also the other match that we are going to look, as India, as you know, has been struggling in South Africa. The only thing that they could do tomorrow is to save face at Centurion Park over there. What they can do is they can try to get a win. If not, South Africa would be clean sweeping them. So it will be a test for India to deal with the pace and bounce. And also the top order has been a big question mark, which Mahendra Singh Dhoni has already alluded to in his post-match press conference. And third match that we'll be looking at is the Pakistan, as you know, Sri Lanka are starting their United Arab Emirates tour. This is the first match that they're going to play, and this is going to be the first T20 match which is going to be played in the United Arab Emirates, with Pakistan being the host of the tournament. Even so, United Arab Emirates is hosting it. As you know, in Pakistan nowadays they are not having any matches. So Pakistan now, after playing against South Africa now, would be now, I mean, they played against South Africa, as you know, in the United Arab Emirates, and now it would be the turn of Sri Lanka to take on Pakistan in the United Arab Emirates. Well, so first let me head to the West Indies-New Zealand game and see. Now, as far as West Indies are concerned, the other day they really escaped with a draw. So West Indies would be probably have taken a lot of lessons in that. I'm sure the Otis Gibson, the chief coach, would have sat with them and find out where exactly what went wrong. Even though West Indies won, it was the great escape. As far as for me, it was one of the greatest escapes in Test cricket for West Indies, because it always looked like New Zealand are going to win it, and then Shane Shillingford coming up that 4-wicket spell to really worry the New Zealanders a bit there. Just talking about the West Indies, for West Indies, well, Kirk Edwards is back, so that is some good news. So Kirk Edwards would be opening with Kieron Powell, and Kirk Edwards, as you know, he already has centuries under his belt in Test matches. He has scored that against England, if my memory is right. Well, Darren Bravo, he's in some peak form right now, and after the double century, one could understand what would be his motivation level. And then Marlon Samuels, well, he needs to play a big innings, that's for sure. Shivnarine Chandrapal, he was the rock, but in this he couldn't really carry on in the second innings, in the sense he was out pretty cheaply. Not only that, he actually had a line of misjudgment when he actually left a ball which was coming in both the innings, so he has to be pretty careful about that. Narsingh Ryan's off spin, his batting was something that West Indies will take. And Dinesh Ramadhan, now Dinesh Ramadhan, even though he's the wicketkeeper of the team, West Indies will be definitely expecting some goods from Dinesh Ramadhan, because he can bat well, and it's a high time that Dinesh Ramadhan delivers tomorrow. That is in the second Test match. Darren Sammy, the captain, always leading from the front, already shown that he has learned from that carelessness, the careless strokes that he played in India against India, and Darren Sammy has really adjusted. And what was good about Darren Sammy, he's a great fighter. I like him always. He likes a battle, and even though he was hobbling with an injury, he gave good support, and it was a very valuable support to Darren Bravo, where they combined to make a lot of runs, but Darren Sammy himself making 80 odd runs. Shane Shillingford, well, he's another bowler that West Indies, New Zealand would be definitely fearing, because he is the one who can really be a match winner for West Indies. And then the pace attack, well, it looks pretty ordinary, but probably Tino Best and Shannon Gabriel would be hoping that the chances would come. The reason being that this pitch is going to help the pacers and the seamers, and I'm sure Tino Best and Shannon Gabriel would like to put up a good effort there. As far as New Zealand are concerned, they have everything going for them. They have the only change in as far as New Zealand is concerned is that Aaron Redmond, who made a debut after 5 years into the New Zealand, not a debut in fact, he came back into the New Zealand team after quite a long time, would be left out for sure. The reason being Kane Williamson is fully fit right now, and he's going to replace him. And Aaron Redmond, as you know, didn't have a good game in this comeback match. So Kane Williamson enters, so that is going to make this New Zealand outfit much more stronger. Hamish Rutherford, Peter Fulton, the openers, Kane Williamson, Ross Taylor. Ross Taylor is coming on a heels of a maiden double century. Brendan McCullum always leading from the front, and Brendan McCullum would be hoping that the second test at the Basin Reserve in Wellington would bring him some much needed luck, because Brendan McCullum is really hunting for his first test victory as the captain of the New Zealand team. Every time it has been thwarted. First it was Matt Pryor, and now the rain actually thwarted his hopes. And then they have Corey Anderson, Brian Watling, the wicket keeper. Ish Sodhi looked very impressive with his bowling, very good googly. He had this googly. He has all the varieties that a leg spinner should have, and it looks to be a person with a bright future. Tim Southee and Trent Boult bowled extremely well, and then they would be well supported by Neil Wagner. So in my opinion, for West Indies, they have to do something in a sense. West Indies have to prove that they are not as weak as New Zealand would have thought it out to be, and rain is not they should prove to it that rain was not something that West Indies needed. They could actually win a match on their own, but whether they are going to do it, that remains a big question mark, as I said. But Basin Reserve in Wellington, as I said, the ball will swing, the pace bowlers will definitely make hay, the batsmen are the ones who are going to be on the back foot, according to me. But I think we should have a very good game of cricket coming in at the Basin Reserve in Wellington, where the ball is definitely going to swing like a banana. Well, so let's leave from here and head to India versus South Africa. Tomorrow is the final one-day international match between India and South Africa, which is going to be played at Centurion Park, here. And for India, the test would be how does the Indian top order, tackle the pace and bounce at the Centurion Park. It is not going to be easy. One is expected, India has been, and what is expected is it's going to be a very good surface which is going to really assist the bowlers. And South Africa definitely would be happy about it. Now South Africa are the ones who are on the ascent. Let's see what India can do. Now as far as India is concerned, there is some forecast for rain too tomorrow. We are told that there's going to be a drizzle in the morning, and then probably we are going to have a match which is going to be not going the whole hog probably, and the number of overs might be restricted, but one does not know. But as far as India is concerned, the batting has been the top order is in the problem. Shikhar Dhawan has not had a big knock for quite a long time. It's something that he needs to do. Rohit Sharma was looking good, but as I said, the problem for India, the Indian top order, has been tackling the pace and bounce. Now tomorrow, Ajinkya Rahane, who failed, whether he is keeping, I reckon that he would be keeping his place, or whether Yuvraj Singh will be back, one does not know. But it looks like Ajinkya Rahane might hold his place. And the other things for India, the pace bowling is not looking as strong, because what is happening is India is finding it very difficult to break through this opening partnership of Hashim Amla and Quinton de Kock, and that would be very vital for them, because basically what we see is that the foundation is laid by the openers, and then the South Africa capitalize on that. Even though India restricted them in the second one-day international, it is not really enough, because Hashim Amla and Quinton de Kock put 194 runs for the first wicket. And Quinton de Kock, as you know, he is in some great form now, because he already has 2 centuries against India and he has 1 century against Pakistan. So he is really flowering now, and he is a man of less expression and pretty young, just 20 years old, and he is looking extremely talented. So Hashim Amla and Quinton de Kock once again would be hoping that they could put up a good partnership on the board. As far as the Indian bowling is concerned, Ishan Sharma played yesterday. Mohammad Shami, I think there should not be much changes as far as the pace department is concerned. One probably thinks that they would actually go for the same pace bowling combination. There should not be much changes. Whether Umesh Yadav would be dropped because of his costly bowling, that remains a question. And other than that, as I said, the top order has to fire, otherwise it would be too late for India. And for India, the only thing that they could do, they could save some face by winning the third one-day international before the test matches, which could be an ideal tonic for them to go into the test matches. Well, whether that is going to happen, so the real test is for the Indian top order to tackle the pace and bounce at the Centurion Park tomorrow in the final one-day international series. For South Africa, nothing to lose. They can do a lot of experimentation, and Henry Davids might probably play tomorrow, so that will be good to see. Probably they would give a chance to Henry Davies, because they would definitely allow Jack Scalise to be absolutely fit for the test matches. So Jack Scalise will be there for the test matches. No, he's pretty good test material. And then they have A.B. de Villiers, J.P. Duminy are all in form. David Miller has been a bit struggling in the sense he has not been getting his opportunity. David Miller, what a brilliant cricketer he is. He can really slam the ball hard and long, and he can really punish the bowlers to a great extent. But so far we have not seen any of those heroics from him. The time has not come. Probably there's not. A situation has not really presented itself, because the top order has been doing the job for South Africa. Bowling. Whether tomorrow we might see some changes, one does not know, because Dale Steyn, whether they would probably go for some experimentation. If at all they do, they might have to drop one of the pace bowlers, and I have a feeling it could be Dale Steyn tomorrow, and probably they might bring in a right arm leg spinner Imran Tahir just to test it, in the sense that they would like to just test the waters, because they all know that Indian players are very good players of leg spin bowling, because they've been born and bred on spin. According to me, what is going to be important is that Imran Tahir, the leg spin, if they could actually tackle those 10 overs of leg spin, South Africa would also have a good idea as to whether Imran Tahir can be included in the test matches, if at all. So this would be a real test for Imran Tahir, because bowling against Indians, a leg spin is something which comes in very easy for the Indian batsman. But as I said, the test will be for Imran Tahir, and probably you might see South Africa experimenting it. I have a feeling probably Dale Steyn might be told to sit out, because he has to be fit and ready to go in the test matches, and one has a feeling that Imran Tahir, the right arm leg spinner, would be unveiled, in the sense would be really released tomorrow, and he would play probably. And I think that would be the right way to go, because that will also give the South African think tank to judge Imran Tahir against the Indian batsman. And as I said, it's quite possible that a situation might come where Imran Tahir, the right arm leg spinner, might play in one of those test matches, if at all he performs admirably here. Well, so all in all, it looks to be a good match which is coming up. But as I said, India has to save face. For South Africa, nothing to really lose. If at all they win, it would be a clean sweep of India in the series. Now let's head to the last brief preview in this particular cricket happening show, and that is between Pakistan and Sri Lanka, who are going to be clashing in the first of the T20s. There are going to be two T20s which is going to be played, and tomorrow this is going to happen in Dubai, where Pakistan and Sri Lanka are going to play the first T20 match, and for Sri Lanka, it's the first match of their tour of the United Arab Emirates. Well, as far as Pakistan are concerned, Pakistan are good T20 specialists. They have some very good batsmen, Ahmed Shahzad, Shahjeel Khan. One saw him against Afghanistan. He actually made his debut there and looked good, looked impressive. So Shahjeel Khan, Ahmed Shahzad, the open. So Shahjeel Khan would be a sort of an unknown commodity for Sri Lanka, and one is told that he is a real talent there from Pakistan. Mohammad Hafiz, the captain, would be leading the team. Sohaib Maqsood, we saw what he did against South Africa, and I'm sure the Sri Lankan management would have really made notes of how Sohaib Maqsood played, because he played very well against South Africa, and he is also looking to be a good talent. Umar Akmal, who has already hit some good form now. Shahid Afridi, always a plus, no doubt about that. Umar Amin, then they have some good all-rounders in the form of Bilawal Bhatti. There's no Anwar Ali. They have Sohail Tanveer and well the world-class off-spinner Saeed Ajmal, always there to worry the batsman, and Junaid Khan's left-arm pace bowling, which definitely would be proving quite a handful for the Sri Lankans. As far as Sri Lanka are concerned, now Sri Lanka, as you know, Mahela Jayawardene is not there in the team, but that doesn't really matter for them. Dilshan would probably be opening with that dasher. As you know, Tilakratne Dilshan now, what he decides is, even though he comes as an opener, he's not the old Dilshan who likes to go hammer and tongs at the ball. He allows his other partner, Kushal Pereira, who is a real dasher in the mold of Tilakratne Dilshan or Sanat Jayasuriya, one could call, and he allows him to actually play his strokes, and he actually plays second fiddle. So whether that is going to be the case tomorrow, one has to see. Tilakratne Dilshan will open with Kushal Pereira. Kumar Sangakkara, the wicket-keeper batsman, as you know, what a great batsman he is for Sri Lanka over the years. And then Dinesh Chandimal, the captain, the young captain, he would be leading the side. As you know, he's the T20 captain for Sri Lanka, and he is also a very good he's a very good thinker too. So Dinesh Chandimal also with his batting will show what a great talent he is. And then they have the all-rounders Angela Matthews and Tisra Pereira, and according to me, the Sri Lanka have some very good all-rounders in the form of Angela Matthews and Tisra Pereira. And then we look at the bowling. Well, Lasith Malinga always takes the cake, and after that he will be partnered by probably Nuwan Kulashekara, who is also a very good bowler. And then they have the spin. They probably, whether one is going to wait and watch whether Ramit Rambukwala, who is a good pace bowler, would be actually making his T20 debut tomorrow. One is told he bowls at some express pace. Whether he is going to be given an opportunity, that remains to be seen. And then Ajanta Mendes. Then the spin is in the hands of Ajanta Mendes, the mystery spinner. No longer the mystery spinner, I would say. Sachitra Senanayake, who has lots of I would say lots of tricks up his sleeve, and I think it should be a good match. One is probably waiting for the first T20 match to begin. So as I said, December 11th there are going to be 3 matches, and that's the precise reason I wouldn't say I couldn't do it in detail, but it was a very brief preview of these 3 matches which are coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow cricket happenings will be chock-a-block. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to give a full match report, because I have some other work commitments, but one thing that I can really promise you, as always, is that the cricket update would definitely be up. I probably would be in a position to talk to you about the New Zealand-West Indies first day's play at the Basin Reserve in Wellington, and probably I would be in a position to actually give you probably the India versus South Africa too, but again, time is going to be a big problem, but I'm sure the Sri Lanka match between Sri Lanka and Pakistan, United Arab Emirates, probably I won't be in a position to, but always a cricket update is always there. So, but as you know, wherever cricket is there, your host Ram is always there to cover it. Thanks for your company and thanks for your tremendous cooperation to the show. Your host Ram will see you tomorrow, that is on 11th of December. Until then, it's goodbye.